Welcome to Stonewatch. This is my open spoiler discussion for Marvel Studios' Hawkeye. And if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can notify for future videos. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Wow, man, this week's episode of Hawkeye was just so damn awesome. Now, this is episode 3, Echoes. And the name pretty much says it all because we get a background story on Maya Lopez, a.k.a. Echo. Now, I thought this was really cool because they kind of introduced the character last week at the end of the episode, and this week we get a background story on who she is and where she's come from. And I thought this was cool because I'm not really all that familiar with the character Echo, so this allowed me to get familiar with her background story, and then I'm going to go read more about her later on, but this way I get to see it on the screen instead of I had to go searching through internet files and everything else. I mean, I'm going to do it so I actually know more about this character because I think she's kind of fascinating. But according to what I've already read, this is like very similar to her origin in the comic books. However, the difference is Kingpin tells her that it was Daredevil that killed her father and not Ronin, like they have it here in the MCU show. Now, we get to see her interact with her father being played by the great Zahn McClaren. Now, I'm only familiar with this guy from the Longmire show that was on A&E and then went to Netflix. So, I mean, I looked at his filmography and there was really nothing else on there that I remember seeing, to be quite honest with you, but I'm a big fan of the Longmire. If you have not watched that show, I highly recommend. But anyway, he was awesome in this role, and I loved watching him, like when he was talking to her about dragons and everything, and I mean, that was just so cool. And then that scene where, after he got stabbed by the sword, I thought that was really powerful. I mean, that was like, whoa. I mean, it was something else. I mean, myself being a parent, it got me like right here, you know what I mean? Now, everybody's talking about Mr. Cufflinks, Uncle. Nobody really knows who this guy is. Everybody's speculating that it could be Kingpin. Maybe. It could be, it could be that Jack guy that's dating Katie's mom, right? I mean, it could be anybody. If it is Kingpin, is it Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix Marvel series? I mean, that guy was perfect to play that role. I hope he does come back to play that role. But if he does, it may not be the exact same version of that character, right? They might actually change it up a little bit to make it more MCU. Because even though that those series were supposed to be connected, they never really were all that connected because they weren't being done by Kevin Feige personally. It was like a different division in Marvel at the time. So they kind of connected, but they really didn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were still good shows, and I don't care what anybody says. I like Iron Fist. I know it's not all that great. I mean, there were some spots in it that were like, really? But other than that, I like that show. I don't care what anybody says. I couldn't watch Jessica Jones, right? And I never did try Luke Cage, but Defenders was good. All 3 seasons of Daredevil was awesome. The Punisher was badass. So, I don't know. And I liked both seasons of Iron Fist. There were some parts that were hard to get through, but I liked it. Anyway, in the Netflix series, Kingpin had Bullseye dress up as Daredevil and did an assassination. What if he did the same thing in this series? What if this is like some other person dressed up as Ronin to take out Maya's dad and his crew for whatever reason that may be? What if, and I haven't heard anybody say this yet, but what if it's Bullseye? What if we're going to get a new version of Bullseye in this show? What if it's the same guy that played Bullseye in the Netflix series? I believe his name was Wilson Bethel. I think that's how you say the name. I mean, what if it's that guy, right? I mean, what if it's that guy? I mean, that'd be really cool. I mean, if they're going to bring in like the characters in from the Netflix series, why not? I think it'd be pretty damn cool as far as I'm concerned. Now, we got to see the car chase that was in the trailer in this week's episode, but it was a little bit more fleshed out. We got to see more of the trick arrows and what have you and the reactions to it. Now, I saw one breakdown video saying that all the arrows that were pretty much, except for maybe a couple of them, were from the comic book story itself, which I think is pretty damn cool. Now, I didn't read those books, but I might. I thought all the fight scenes in this episode were pretty damn cool, especially the one with Maya versus Hawkeye. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if she actually has a prosthetic leg, but I know she is deaf because I saw an article earlier on today, I think it was in Screen Rant, that said that when she came on set that Jeremy Renner welcomed her in American Sign Language, just I guess to welcome around her set. And I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, he didn't have to do that. I thought it was cool. Now, again, I thought it was pretty cool. Like in this one, he's like, because he's got losing his hearing from all the stuff that he's done through the years, like going up against Thanos and everything else. And now he only has one hearing aid, but when he doesn't have the one hearing aid, he can't hear at all. I mean, or really all that good. He only has the one. So I didn't really understand why he only has the one. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool that, when he was talking to his son and Kate Bishop kind of helped out because he couldn't really hear what the kid was saying. So the kid wasn't really texting him like he was asking. And, so she was kind of like writing down what he was saying. I thought that was really, really something. You could see how that was just tearing him up, that he was not with his kids. He wasn't going to be with his kids possibly on Christmas like he said he was going to, which I think he's going to make it. We only have 3 more episodes left. We are now halfway through this series. Halfway through. I mean, we're already halfway through this series. And I hope he makes it. I hope that by the end of this series, he actually makes it back and spends time with his family on Christmas. I mean, I really hope that's where this is going to go. I mean, but they're going to have to kind of start picking up the pace a little bit here because we only got 3 episodes left and we don't really know who the main bad guy is. Everybody thinks it's Kingpin. It could be anybody. So, you know what I mean? And then the interactions with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop were just as good in this episode as it has been in the first 2. And I don't care what anybody says. I like the first 2 episodes. I'm not saying it's like the best MCU show stuff I've seen on Disney Plus so far, but I liked it. I like this show. I still think right now Falcon and Winter Soldier is my number 1 MCU show right now, followed by WandaVision and then Loki, then this one, right? I mean, I like this one so far. I'm waiting to see how this kind of wraps up, you know what I mean? And where it's going to go. I mean, so many things that this could go so many different directions from this point on. Now, the episode ends with Kate and Hawkeye sneaking around her mom's apartment. Now, while she's hacking away on the laptop, Hawkeye's like walking around. That's when he gets caught by that Jack guy. Now, from my understanding, he was Ronin at one point. Now, could he have possibly been the one who was being Ronin, the one who killed Echo's dad and his crew? Could that have been him and not actually Hawkeye at that point? I mean, it's a possibility. Everybody's not, and could he be the one who has the cufflinks? I mean, we just won't know. Maybe we'll find out next week. Now, like I said, I liked this episode a lot. I thought it was pretty damn good, but I was kind of bummed to notice that the runtime was only 44 minutes. Now, after you minus out the previously beforehand and the ending credits, you're only looking at like 30 minutes worth of showtime. I mean, that's kind of like a bummer. And there was no end credit scene yet. Maybe we'll get one next week. I think at the earliest we're going to get one next week. But if they follow the same pattern as the other MCU shows, it probably won't be till like episode 5. And it sets up whatever is going to come in episode 6. So I can't wait to see if they're going to show us who Uncle is next week or if they're going to make us wait until episode 6. And Elena from the Black Widow movie hasn't shown up yet. I mean, she's listed as part of the cast, so she's still yet to show up. I'm kind of hoping they don't wait till the last 5 minutes of episode 6 for her to show up. So, I don't know, man. Did you see the 3rd episode of Hawkeye? Let me know in the comments down below. Where does this one rank with you with the other 2 we've gotten so far? Let me know in the comments down below. Where does this series rank with you out of the other MCU shows we got so far? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, I like it. It's not my favorite so far, but I like it. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below.